Hello everyone, welcome to Ludo History. As always, I'm Adam, your friendly neighborhood historian, and we are back with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Last time Henry made the dubious decision of being the most competent investigator in a town full of extremely incompetent investigators. So, we're going to continue that trend. We're going to presumably head over to Ujits, figure out who committed a murder, and lit some stuff on fire. And yeah, probably talk some history about criminal justice. I've got some stuff prepared there, but you know, turns out investigations in this period, kind of very ad hoc, kind of very garbage. If you enjoy this, the VOD will be on YouTube soon. It'll be on Twitch for 2 weeks after this, but do make sure that you follow in order to be notified every time we go live. We stream 3 times a week on a wide variety of games. And if you really, really like this, do consider subscribing or supporting the channel by heading over to patreon.com/ludohistory. And for as little as $2 a month, you're able to make sure this continues to happen. Without further ado, let's get into it. We'll see. Chat. That's looking nice. Chat, how's it looking? I'm seeing no lag on my end. Are you seeing... Goodbye. Are you seeing any lag? I'm not seeing any lag. So I think we might be okay. No lag! Hooray! Goodbye. Incredible. Alright, so, let's take a look at what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to... Nope, not that button. Where are we supposed to go? This is Neuhof. That's not helpful. Quest log. Find the Neuhof bandit in Ujits. Fair enough. Yes. Well, maybe we'll actually just mark this one. Mysterious ways. Perfect. So that's way off to the north. Pebbles, let's get going. Pebbles, please. Pebbles. Pebbles.
Yeah.
There we go. You know, this stuff farm actually reminds me of the German section of Old World Wisconsin. Ha. That sounds about right. And doubly so since, you know, there's... I mean, it also reminds me of, like... really, the old kind of abandoned parts of the state of Wisconsin now. Cause... yeah, realistically, not a lot has changed about horse farms in the last while. Very, very long while. Cause... yeah, it's kind of
to
just...
leave the province, I'll have to get permission from Sir Radzik.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
How else am I supposed to get to Ujits? Where he told me to go. You're making this inconvenient. You know that? A horse is a horse. There ain't much to change. You're not wrong. You are not wrong at all.
Yeah.
But certainly by this period, horse rearing's pretty much perfected. Let's be honest, new technology improves some things, but it doesn't substantively change the core idea, which is you, and are taking care of a horse. And so a lot of the improvements are largely going to be, medicine, making sure horses remain healthy, much more so than any massive technological drift. So, buildings probably look pretty similar. The workplace culture probably isn't that different.
Yeah.
You know, overall, looking pretty much the same. Now that's more me arguing by vibes rather than me making a super well evidenced argument. But even so. In the meantime, I suppose let's summarize what happened last time. So... we were told, after a brief stint of hunting where someone did get stabbed, but it was not us, and we didn't stab anybody. So, you know, successful hunting that was only accidentally a death trap instead of intentionally a death trap. We went back to town and were informed that a crime happened in the farm village of Neuhof. Oops. Apparently I have not muted my phone. That's exciting. Sorry, chat. My camera's gonna do wonky things for a moment. I need to fix that. Problem solved. Adam will reveal. Oh man, was it everything you hoped for? But words are hard. Words continue to be very difficult. So. Oh. Kotramatic of Bosnia. Thank you for the follow just now. But yeah, we went to Neuhof, and in Neuhof we learned that there is in fact a problem, and the problem is that the bandits that stole our sword a couple streams ago have done a murder and killed someone important. One of Duke Hanish's men. And so we persuaded Sir Radzik to let us join the investigation. And having joined the investigation, we ferried forth to the crime scene. We talked to 4 people. One of them was extremely suspicious. Killed some dudes. Went back. The suspicious dude was gone. Tracked him down. Killed more dudes. And then was informed that he was hiding because he recognized one of the bandits as being from the town of Uzhitz. We are now on our way to Uzhitz to question everybody. Going through some very lovely forests. I mean, what a nice open field. I should probably be on the woods instead of messing about in the wildflowers. Just a thought. That may make it easier. Just in general. Also, the bandits were terrible people and committed great slaughter of horses. An interesting site. What makes this site interesting? Come on. You can't just say that. Like, what makes it an interesting site? Nothing? Nothing? Alright, and the anonymous with the gift sub to a gallon of milky, and this dude with the gift sub to Rat093. Thank you all so much. Come on. Horse. Pebbles. Pebbles. What are you doing? I did axe a bunny rabbit when it got stuck in the level geometry. We also proved that we were a champion tree climber. While fighting people, we determined that you can in fact walk onto someone and then back up over a tree and you will simply slide through. Is that how that is supposed to work? Probably not. Are we going to question it? Yes, we will in fact question it. And then we met Pebbles. And Pebbles is the superior entity. Seriously, what makes this an interesting site? Oh look, and there's Ujits. What makes you interesting? Or is it the fishing? Well, it's probably not the fishing. I am unpersuaded that we know how to swim. It might be the fishing. Oh, Pebbles. Pebbles, you teleported. I mean, Teresa's the competent character. This dude, you are correct that her name is Teresa. And you are correct that she is the competent character. But she lacks the charm factor of Pebbles. And now that we are in Ujits, we have to discover where the limping bandit lives. Oh boy. Are we excited? So, naturally, given that our goal is to be as nitpicky as is reasonable, because we understandably do not trust this game any significant distance, let us talk about the process of medieval investigating. Because that kind of matters. We have discovered the butcher. Incredible. So, the big important thing to know about medieval law, broadly speaking, is that there is no real enforcement mechanism for the vast majority of things that are on the books. Right? The laws do exist, and they will quite regularly prescribe certain punishments for certain crimes. For instance, if you murder someone, you are going to be probably put to death, or at the very least have to pay a hefty sum, potentially as much in this period as 40 marks of silver, which is a lot of cash.
Jesus Christ, your clothes. Were you assaulted?
No, I was doing the assaulting.
May they burn in hell.
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't know his name. Do you know anyone with a limp?
Aye, he lives here all right. The devil take him. In a cottage at the end of the village by the road to Neuhof. Goodbye.
Well, that was easy. That's like next door to where I am. Oh, good. We learned his name too.
But I wasn't sure Betty would even want to sell them. So I asked for a high price, and he says that's fine, and started counting out the coins. There.
Uh huh. Hey, no, I wanted to finish. I wanted you to finish that story.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't know his name. Do you know anyone with a limp?
Aye, there is one fellow with a limp. Can't imagine what you. Take care now.
Okay. Hello.
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't know his name. Do you know anyone with a limp?
There is one. A crooked bastard he is, too. I hope you're here to take him away. He lives in a cottage at the end of the village by the road to Rattay.
Thank you. Incredible. He lives apparently right over here, where there's a crowd of people. Well, that was easy. That was a little too easy. I'm disappointed. Alright, alright. They really hate Lubosh, as it turns out. Yeah, I can see.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say, we don't want
Auschwitz?
any of that kind of
Auschwitz.
trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Allow me to introduce you.
Well,
Limpy Lubosh,
content warning, I have a suspicion.
or all that's left of him.
Ooh. Yeah, content warning.
Sakra.
Hey,
Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
yikes, yikes too. Crucifixion imagery, question mark?
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
Alright, let's finish this cutscene, then we can catch up.
And a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened.
Yikes cute.
He
Okay.
kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Uh-huh.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
Right.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Uh-huh.
Another thing about Lubosh.
Nope, that's it. Well, Yikes. Just gonna not. None of you saw anything. I am an investigator. We are investigating. We are being respectable. So...
A bed?
Sort of. Yoink. Okay, yeah, none of those are actually worth stealing, as it turns out. Turns out he might not have been very rich. I don't have any lockpicks, do I? Good. Unlucky, unlucky. Okay. So, let's keep talking. What are you all doing in here? Okay, well then, chat, which was more distressing? The body behind me, or the, three-phased villager that we just witnessed? 'Cause, oh my word, they sure do have dead eyes. Completely unperturbed by that. They wanted to look. Did they have to stand inside each other while looking, though? Like, looking is one thing. The phasing through each other's bodies is entirely another. With the same distressed dead eyes. Anyway, what are you doing, Marush? What are you doing here?
Good evening.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipo.
Uh-huh.
I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof.
What are
Now,
you
murder
doing
as
here?
well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you.
Well,
Ask if
you're
you
sitting
must.
inside of his house, so that immediately makes you a prime
Who
suspect.
was Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
You are inside his house.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time. And then yesterday, he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest.
God damn it.
I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
Do you
Talk
know
to
what
the
Lubosh
priest.
was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
As far as I know, he had nobody at all in this world.
You could look at me.
That's all. Thank you.
It's making me
Good
suspicious.
luck then.
Marush. Marush. What? I have one additional question. What are you doing? Having wandered into his house while I was looking at other rooms, why are you hanging out in there? She wasn't here when we came to this room before, was she? No, she wasn't. Well, we were poking around here. She walked in, walked over here, and just sat down. I was like, this is fine. This is all fine. Anyway, before we examine the body, we were talking about crime scene and stuff. What am I, a cop? No. See, I am a sworn man of the person who's nominally most directly affected by this. And so, we're acting in his stead to do things. You know, that's a complicated... That answer gets complicated very fast, so let's look at this first, and then we'll talk about what was and wasn't.
An inscription in blood. Pity I don't know how to read. Looks like they wanted to give someone a warning. But who? An abandoned
What was
who
that?
knows how to
Zradza?
you see every day.
I don't know enough Czech to translate that.
What's this? Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted him? That would explain why he didn't scream.
Yes. They almost certainly did do that. They... Zradza equals trader. Thank you, Jan. So, I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Dobry dzień, Jana.
What's this?
Jak se masz ty?
Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head.
Stop it.
What's
Yes.
this?
Torso.
Looks like Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything?
Is there anything else there? More or less okay. Good to hear that. Hopefully, I know you were feeling pretty ill recently, so I hope you are feeling better now. In the meantime, let's now talk about, you know, what happens when someone gets murdered. So, first of all, are we a cop? We are not a cop because there are no cops. There are 0 police in this period, and no one who even functions as a de facto police. Judicial appointments are 100% on, or not judicial appointments, there are judges, but law enforcement and investigation is entirely on the hands of those who are victims. If you are not if you are not equipped to handle an investigation on your own, an investigation will not happen. And so, while there are things in line in the law codes as to what the punishment shall be if someone commits a thing, in terms of proving that someone committed the thing, the person who is wronged has to be, or the next of kin of the person who is murdered, is the person who has to deal with the investigation. This is sort of prior to the hired thief takeout, right, Elias? So you are able to hire someone to do the investigations for you, if you feel like. But in terms of it being a organized profession you can make a living off of, we're a little bit early for that. 15th century is, as far as I know, still early. That emerges in England in the 16th century, I think. So it may arise earlier on the continent out of religious courts. But anyway, let's actually switch over to another page here, and we'll take a look at what some of those options for these punishments actually are. Thank you to Ask Historians. This is 8 years old, but this answer does hold up with my own knowledge, so we are going to let it be. Right? Generally started by a complaint to a local authority. So, you have to make the complaint, and then you are in charge of making the investigation, and then you have the trial. Hooray. Now, you might have bailiffs and provosts, but, these are broadly ad hoc events. Right, so we're deputized by the local lord / justice via possa comitatus. Exactly, right? So we are... kind of the order of events that has happened here with the Neuhoff murders is that there was an attack on noble-owned land, the stud farm, with casualties of a direct vassal to Lord Hanush. So, Lord Hanush is the person who is harmed by this and is setting up the complaint. Then, Lord Hanush cannot go and do this himself, right? So, let's take a look at the if we scroll down, some Danish examples, right? If a man, or here's a murder. 40 marks to the victims and also to the king, etc., etc. But if a man loses his property, so say if a horse was stolen, he should follow it to the city where he believes his property has been taken to, and ask all the property owners about what he has lost. So in this case, right, we should go to Ujits, and we should talk to everyone at Ujits about the banditry and see if any of them have the stolen goods. Though in this case, it was more murder than stolen goods. If any man admits that he has those properties and says who he has received them from, then he's not called a thief if the person he got them from confesses. But if a traveling man who he did not know later left those properties in his house, then he is obligated to prove with 12 men's oaths that he is not a thief and not a thief's accomplice. And if all those who live in the city deny that they have property, he can demand to do an inspection of the whole town, and they cannot deny it to him. At that point, you bring in the king's men, the king's representative, or the local lord. Then the farmers can inspect themselves. So, that's all for thievery. But the same rough things will apply for murder. Right? That the person who is wronged is leading, kind of pushing for the investigation, and a bailiff may be appointed to deal with this, or a local lord can appoint someone else to do the investigation, or the person wronged can do it themselves. So, that's kind of what we're doing, right? We are the representative of Sir Hanish. We are acting in his name. We have been given the authority to do this work for the local lord. And then, so we are acting in his name for his benefit. We are not broadly investigating all crimes. Notably, all those accidents we've passed on the road, not our problem. But one of our lord's men has been killed, the complaint was brought to our lord, we are appointed to take care of it.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Now,
I don't know nothing about it.
This game seems to somewhat represent that, in that this is really convenient for player agency, right?
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
Like, it's super convenient for player agency that, oh yeah, we are the ones investigating. Great. But we are also a sworn man of a noble, and so the fact that we are now investigating double murders, I mean, they're linked and relevant to us, so fine. But it definitely gives off an impression that we are broadly more peacekeepers than we actually are.
He was even talking to the priest and went to confession. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
And Major, could this task be done by a regent if the king was out at war or something? Yeah, absolutely. The joys of regency is that you have, de facto, all the power of the ruler. You just are not actually... It's not a permanent position. So, a queen could absolutely do the same thing if she is acting in the king's name, or, her appointed duke, whatever. Obviously, this will depend a lot on the specific moment, and the specific entities asked, right?
I've come in the name of
So, lots of variation in time, lots of variation in space. Don't take anything here too stringently, but it does exist.
Who was this Lubosh?
He was a drunkard and a beast, and lazy too. Idle hands are the devil's tools.
Yep.
Have you noticed any?
The only thing seems...
Do you know what Lubosh...
What do I care about?
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time?
He was always a loner.
Alright, we really just gotta talk to the parish priest. Fine. Is that all everyone's... Right, we are doing our due diligence as a medieval investigator, and we are asking everyone all of the questions. But that does not seem to be what the game wants us to do. It just says, hey, go talk to the priest. 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 Villager. Incredible. There's the church. Let's go talk to the church. Oh, I love that music. Oh, I do love that music. Listen to that bagpipe. Or oboe type somethings. I don't know. It's a good tune, whatever it is. Let me in. Let me in. Are they doing it right? Are they... Well, I mean, apart from St. John being a Kickstarter backer, and also not St. John, I am near Godwin. Oh boy, I've heard tell of this. But first, this church. So, love it, love it, love it. It's almost not dense enough, right? If I have to complain about this parish church, is that there's not enough drawings. I want more drawings all in here. I want more here. I want more up in here. I want it to be absolutely egregious. If I have to otherwise complain about this church, why is he not St. John? I don't mind the fact that it's a Kickstarter backer. But as far as I know, this organ pan flute is not a symbol of St. John, and given that we clearly have Christ and then the Virgin Mary here, we should have St. John here. Could be an instrument on the shome? Maybe? I also didn't think that was a symbol of St. John, but I could be wrong there. It doesn't feel very St. John to me. Alright, Father Godwin. Hit me.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Oh, you know the... Okay, you meant the instrument in the background. Gotcha, gotcha.
Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child. All sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubos don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubos was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
Yeah, obviously.
Certain vows that
come on, confession.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers.
There are laws of God above the laws of man's son, and one of those.
Godwin's voice acting is rough. I will be honest.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
I feel like I'm going to lose all of
Lubos
these.
Is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
What?
If
Lighting?
I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone of the Holy Church. If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians? Worse than the murderer escaping punishment?
No one escapes punishment.
Father, Lubosch was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me
Well,
some
at least
time
he's
and I'll
being
try to think of
remotely
some-
competent.
Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
God be with you.
Well, what do you mean, Jan Hus? Why did we get the entry for Jan Hus there? Folk songs. Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, that was sad. Father, you're supposed to walk around with a torch. Don't you know that's the only way we'll have any light here? Oof. This man looks and sounds like a pastor from your college. I mean, I feel bad in that this man has the emotional range of a teaspoon. But... did he just Riker get into the... He just Riker stood up. He just Riker crossed that bench. Hello.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you
Now
from?
the fun part starts?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your kin?
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it.
I understand.
As you wish.
Must have been terrible.
Here, enjoy.
To the memory of all who were left behind. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanush to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ushitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things
Hey,
out.
wait, hold up.
We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo?
No, admittedly, torture is absolutely a thing, and we just go for...
But I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumors aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits. But they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses.
What?
They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarreled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosch, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed.
She's not even looking at us.
Here's to those poor souls who had to die.
She was looking at the chandelier solidly.
Now it's your turn, Father.
She was solidly staring at the chandelier, just completely lost the world.
Let's get down to business. So,
Wild.
Confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry.
That's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
Oh boy.
You're just making excuses. The people who say the church is corrupt
Oh.
are right.
Oh.
You don't care about anyone.
Jan
only your
Hus.
own comfort.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Really sorry.
That was not what I was going for.
How wrong you are.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Oh, we're doing blasphemy.
It isn't prop. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to the church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And of course describing them in detail. Tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Shocking.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague.
Okay, now I understand why we're getting the Hussite Codex entry.
He always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound.
Oh, he's also a Hussite.
About putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom...
Not proto-Hussite, just Hussite. Right. Well, technically the Hussites don't become a political force until after the martyrdom of Jan Hus in 1415. This is still Hussite theology.
Profit from everything. You want to baptize a child?
Check history textbook, 2nd grade.
You will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor.
God, this is...
beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to
I mean, this is not necessarily far off of what Jan Hus actually preaches, but it is very much the check history textbook version of it.
Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people.
Also, structurally, I feel like it's written...
This Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
That feels like it's written like 19th century, like American religion. Fire and brimstone pastors.
That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to.
Is that true?
I live with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
My pleasure.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for...
Serves in the hands of an angry god, which is 18th century, but still. Yeah, right, a Calvinist could do it. Okay.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying to women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves.
Yeah.
They're afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will
accidentally
rise up,
prophetic.
The church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected...
Maybe not prophetic. Jan Hus gets burned at the stake in 1415.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
That sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Alright, we're gonna get very drunk. Nothing bad will happen from this. And if you remember correctly, Jan Hus did preach in the countryside before going to Prague. Yes. He sure did, but he gained notoriety in Prague. Dance party chat.
Enough of this. Bailiff,
Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped, and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
A bailiff might be able to write. A bailiff might be able to write. Sadly, fun police.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
No. Why? No. Literally no.
I'll ring you on. Dobredella.
Ow. Please stop. I'm literally getting bullied.
You'll get.
You mean the money you lent him last winter? He took his time.
But I didn't want to upset you.
Are you okay?
I'd love to.
Oh, okay, so she's actually here supposed to be the whole time.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
Godwin's common law wife.
What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Yep. I'm gonna trip and fall off this damn thing if I'm not careful. Well then, what a day. What a day.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
We can't do this.
You think you may have solved the case?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
No. Henry does seem to have a penchant for brawling in taverns. Yeah, well.
This is wonderful.
Is it? Is it? It is midnight.
Ah, bloody hell. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Okay. Well then. Well then.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
Okay, that's strictly unnecessary. Strictly unnecessary. We're still drunk? Seriously, we're still drunk. Just don't be like this. Don't be like this. I cannot see a damnable thing.
Well, I have to say that was a fine
Incredibly unnecessary. Thank you. Now, to be fair, medieval lit is solidly majority about sex, and almost as majority about getting drunk. So
Godwin, you beast. Get up.
I would say the implication is that we slept with the alehouse maid at the same time as Godwin slept with his common law wife. So
Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend Henry. And we have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Okay. Truly the most voice.
Stay on in my head. My guts. My poor suffering stomach. What was that woman on about?
It's a Sunday.
Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten some. What have I forgotten? Where the fuck am I? What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you.
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
No.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Radzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of
God,
Master
what a
Yarn
horrible idea this is.
preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. If the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts.
This is a
regardless.
terrible idea.
So I'd appreciate it. If you stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this?
This is, I mean, this is not only heresy, this is also straight up illegal under canon law. Like, this is, this,
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, alright. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know.
and if it turns out badly,
Christ almighty. Fine then.
luckily Hussite theology is not very hard.
Let's get to it.
It's just, yeah, great. Why am I over? I mean, I'm still drunk. God's sake. Alright, church, where you at? This way? Oh. What? How am I overloaded? It's the most check thing. Where the? No, I'm just lost. Shut up. Okay, I'm pointing right at it. There it is. Can we just not do this? I mean, we could not do this, but how else are... We could not do this. It would be a smart idea to not do this. Alternatively, we could both preach heresy.
Alright, suit yourself. Don't expect any help from me.
What? 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 We just saved, right? What? Huh? Does anyone want to explain how the hell I failed that? He wasn't in the church. I was standing next to him. Huh? What I'm afraid of, though, is that this is not a real save, that this is not the save that I need. I mean, it's good you failed to do heresy and illegality, IMO. I mean, yes. But we have made zero good decisions throughout this playthrough, and it's depressing to start now. Let's just load this one and see if that helps. Worst case, we have to redo a bit. We'll just, like, speedrun this. Oh! No, it truly put us back here. That's hysterical. It just, like, decided we didn't count. Alright, chat, we're speedrunning now. That's hysterical. Thank you, game. Well programmed. Saving after cutscenes? Chat, did we see a single save after a cutscene? Because I sure didn't. And there were no more recent saves. So, speedrunning. It's alright, let's just talk about his sites while we're correcting our mistakes. Seriously. Seriously. Horse? Horse. Yeah, apparently none of those 5 cutscenes resulted in a single save being created. Because I didn't think that one was right, but, you know, more Pebbles content. Anyway, since we are now running back, let's talk about what exactly went wrong with that whole premise. The core bad decision of the premise is that we are impersonating a priest, right? We are saying that we are able to give a sermon in a canon mass in Czech. Admittedly, that's borderline heretical on its own. But still, we're saying, yeah, we are qualified to give a sermon in a church. That is a thing reserved to church officials, ideally parish priests or higher. Technically, I believe a deacon is able to, but realistically, as much as possible, you do want that to be someone else. Right? Ideally, you want that to be a parish priest or higher giving sermons, because sermons are important. They are not as important as the liturgy, right? The liturgy is the readings from the Bible, the memorized statements of how this works, and following the church calendar, what speeches, prayers, etc. are considered part of the Mass. The sermon, meanwhile, is the much more off-the-cuff thing, which is why we are able to do it at all. Exactly. Probably the Nicene Creed over the Apostles' Creed in this period, but still, yes. The Creed, the prayers, the Thanksgiving, the readings from the Bible. All of those. So, yeah, not only are the details that we're preaching heresy, namely the fact that we are sorry, I derailed it, what I was thinking. Sorry, what we are preaching is heresy, or will soon be judged heresy, by the Catholic Church, because Jan Hus. You know, he gets burned at the stake for a reason, it's not just for funsies. They did decide he was doing heresy. Then also, we are absolutely committing a massive breach of ethics, if not of church law. In... Oh, sorry, Pebbles. In attempting to do this, right? Attempting to do this is bad. Because, yeah, we could be fined, hit by an Inquisitor, tortured, and or executed for doing this. Yes, homilies and sermons can be in the vernacular, just not the rest of it. However, Jan Hus advocates for doing the whole thing in the vernacular. But yes, you are correct that homilies can be in vernacular, and in fact, they encourage that, because otherwise, literally, what is the point? Right? Literally, what is the point if, we do not, have at least part of it being a language people understand? Right? So, the sermons are supposed to be the actual takeaway lesson, to which end you read in the vernacular, whatever that is. I'd say he lives down here. By the way, we didn't mention this on the last run-through, but Lubosh has an awfully nice house. Well, Peter, his statement wasn't that less of it should be in Latin, or should be in the vernacular, it's that the homily should, or sorry, the litany should be in the vernacular.
When did you find the body?
Just now.
We're gonna have to redo a bunch of this stuff, aren't we? Read.
Inscription in. What's
Thank
this?
you.
Lord
Thank you.
above, they did a hell of a job on it.
Okay, nothing else of note in here. Nope. Leave.
How come no one heard anything?
I wish to leave. So... Nope, the idea is that the entire mass should be done in the vernacular. They specifically mentioned John Wycliffe, as the comparison point, with good reason, because Wycliffe is advocating for exactly the same thing. Are you Tanners? Is that what you're doing? You are Tanners. Amazing.
Good day to you.
I've come in the...
Do
you know what...
I was coming. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky. But afterward...
Have you noticed anything suspicious?
Come to think of it, I was wondering...
Great.
That's all.
Take care now. Hey!
Does that mean he's not a heretic anymore post-Vatican II? Well... yes, technically. Isn't Wycliffe a few decades before this? Yeah, Wycliffe is operating in the 1380s, I want to say. But Jan Hus is directly inspired by Wycliffe. Right, Wycliffe is really the first person to be super stringently advocating to this to the point of getting yourself in a lot of trouble. And Jan Hus is probably directly inspired by Wycliffe's work, which was brought back to Prague in the late 1390s by Czech students. Ow. Do I want to know why our priest is practicing swordsmanship? Like, you are several centuries too late, my guy. You are several centuries too late. Don't hit me. Sir. Sir, I am attempting to speak with you to progress the plot. Stop it. Stop with your snapping around. Come on, stop training. I need to speak with you. I need to... There. No. God damn it. God damn it. Let me talk to you.
I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
The blessings of... Can I ask you if you...
It seems...
Did you know, Lubor?
A bit of a lot.
Do you know what...
Unfortunately...
What?
I'm bound...
Vows?
There are...
Father...
There are things...
I've got no time for this. You might be happy to put people's lives at risk, but I refuse to, and I'll get that confession out of you by force if I have to.
On the one hand, I.33.
You want to fight me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think it's a very good idea. I got a bit carried away, Father.
I understand how keen you are.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhoff
Uh-huh.
Only
I.33 is priest/SS college practicing swordsmanship. Yeah. Alright.
Surely you
Dobronoc.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, that's early.
But I can't.
Right. There are a... Nope. Nope. Stop it. There we go. You can also just talk to the bailiff. Well, fair enough, but we're here anyway. And we need to make bad decisions. You know? Right, if we fail this, we could just... Chat, what's the feeling? Are we just going to talk to the bailiff and not worry about this? Is that the feeling? I'm seeing Rad is suggesting that. Magistrus is suggesting that. So now we just have to locate the bailiff. Amazing. So we have identified why the decision is bad. So we're going to not do it. We have made one good decision in this entire playthrough, including resetting this game.
Could do with a bite to eat.
So... less blasphemy, more bailiff. Bailiff? Bailiff. Ow. Did I just light myself on fire by tripping? Did I just light myself on fire by tripping? That'd be hysterical. Bailiff? Bailiff. Pretzels in this economy? Well, we might still have some, actually. We have no food? We have no significant food. That's hysterical. God. We are eating 0 pretzels in this economy. We have no pretzels. Alright. Anyone want to guess where the bailiff is? At this time of night? Any guesses? Any guesses? What's wild to me, Rat, is that they did not even give me a hint that the bailiff actually has real answers, apart from he is technically the king's representative in this town, and so is the person to whom it would make obvious sense to talk to. But otherwise, like, we've not had a chance to Like, none of the people we talked to actually suggested, hey, the bailiff might be a useful person to talk to. It has been all priest all the way. Yeah, sure, Magus. I mean, if you know where the bailiff is... I did check the... I did recheck, down the road from the inn with a red and black sign on it. Alright. That's doable. Like that sign? That looks like the apothecary. But still, it is the... well, the scribe. Perfect. Hello? Hello? Well, I'd say you're not here. I'd say you're not here because everyone's gone to bed. God, it's not even midnight, y'all. Not even midnight. Fine. I am very hungry. Get up. Sir. But that's not the bailiff, that's just the scribe. Right, that wasn't the bailiff, that was the scribe. Whatever, we'll do a lap. And then we'll stop by the inn to get food. And then hopefully the scribe will be awake. I think you're a late sleeper, aren't you?
God be with you.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to learn...
At this time of day?
I've come in the name...
Of course.
That man Lubosh who...
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed anything...
Well, now I think of it.
Haven't seen him for a while.
What Lubosh...
Not a clue.
Uh-huh.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend...
He was a loner.
That's all.
Oh, god damn it, my stomach hurts.
Yeah, don't worry about it. There you are, sir.
God
Sir.
be with you.
Who was limp?
A poor crofter, and he kept company with
Uh-huh.
me.
Did he have any...
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
How come he limped?
He got that from some...
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept...
The parish priest here in Ujian.
He is indeed. He's as hard as nails. More than once he's intervened in a brawl in the tavern.
I doubt he acquired those skills.
You know how it goes. The nobles send their youngest sons to study for the priest.
Oh, okay. That's actually fair. That's actually fair.
He probably learned to fight at home before he went to university. That's how it goes with those aristocrats.
If he is
I
an
heard
aristocrat,
something
that's fine.
happened and he was roving the world for a while.
Uh-huh.
Another thing...
Farewell.
I talked to him. Nope, that doesn't do anything. Incredible. So that does nothing. Let's just yoink some food from his... Let me in. Yeah, I think he'd sleep on a bed. I think he would sleep on a bed. Like this person. Who slept on a bed. Huh. Huh. So what am I missing here, chat? I very much get the sense that I am missing something. But not really sure what it is. Or how to identify that the bailiff is hiding something. Like, we can poke around the house a bit more. Seriously. As a matter of fact, that actually reminds me of one of the big problems I have with this game so far. And that is that they have way too few people per house. And so, right, instead of having just a bunch of beds that get laid out, they instead suggest, oh yeah, there's like 3 people who live in each place. Oh. Well, that makes sense, I guess. But I already did that. Right, tons of people to a house and to a bed. Right, I don't mind these beds being made out of straw. That's probably correct for this region in this period. But there should be like 8 people to one of these houses. Alright, chat, but I can't help but feel like I've gotten baited here. Right, like if talking to the bailiff is the thing that's supposed to happen. Well, we need to apologize now instead of reloading again. Yeah. Yeah. You'd think. But yeah, beds. One giant bed with 8 people in it. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. Right, the cloth beds we have are actually not very big. They're significantly smaller than modern beds. So you probably can't realistically fit more than 2 people in them, but you might lay out a bunch of straw, and then people would lay out on those. So, what I believe it is in like a Scandinavian context is that you actually move the bench, you can actually lay out the benches and then throw straw over them in order to be equivalent to beds. But they, like, the meat benches could be slept on.
Trust me, there's no... You've got that right.
Alright, alright. If anyone else knows anything. Now we go back to here. And we'll see if the bailiff here now knows anything.
Godwin won't tell me who Lubos's cronies were.
Great.
I've reached a complete standstill.
I told you, no one ever came here to see him. If he was meeting anyone.
But where? I can't go around the whole county asking, can I? I could end up in Kuttenberg.
You might. They might even have records of that scoundrel there. But maybe you don't have to go that far. I just remembered he once boasted to me that he had a record in Rattay.
Thank you for your help.
God be with you.
Great. Now we're going back to Rattay. Pebbles. We have mischief to accomplish. Are you ready? You kind of rearranged the whole hall rat. So you'd move them away from the tables up against the walls. You'd move them together. Generally, right, you're doing actually quite a bit of work. And you might even end up moving the tables if that ends up being more convenient. So, lots of options for how to rearrange them. And instead, sometimes you might move the benches up against the wall and then everyone sleeps on the floor. You know, that's also an option. So... lots of options there. Hey, look, hopefully by the time I get to, Rate, I'll be able to just talk to the scribe there, and he'll teach me how to read. And that'll be fine. And we just have to get through over to Rate's, to the scribe first. Yes, yes, you're fine, Pebbles. I hear you, but you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll make our way down the hill, and then across the river. Feel like we've been here before. And then we're going to make our way over to the Rate Woods.
You're dead.
No, I'm not. I'm on a horse. This dude depends on if you can afford it. Ultimately, a load of it is just, can you afford it?
Hey! Hey, who's there?
Me. I'm there. Soja? What are you doing? Are you done?
You're not getting off very well.
Thank you. Right, as per usual in this period, there's ends up being a lot of variation around a lot of things. And so, right, you might be sleeping on anything from just on bare earth to having a luxurious feather bed. All options are on the table, and unfortunately, you know what survives really badly? Beds. Right, we don't really have a lot of archaeological material to support us here, because only the most elite beds survive. So there's a lot of guesswork involved based on literary descriptions of, oh, I guess they slept on the benches. But how does that actually look like? Do some experimentation, find out what doesn't suck to sleep on. Alternatively, assume that they just were okay with it sucking to sleep on. I don't know that that's a reasonable thing to assume, but, you know, we'll roll with it. Hooray! Anyway, back to the investigation. I am getting the feeling with this investigation that it is all very much in line with modern literary ideas of what investigations look like. And while it's not a horrible representation of medieval strategy. Yeah, let's go. Pebbles is a god. But anyway, right, and it's all feeling very, very modern, right? Very CSI, NCIS, whatever. And so, well, it's not wrong per se, in that the overall structure is plausible enough. The exact way this investigation is playing out ends up, I guess, feeling to me very much like a medievalist crime drama. Oh yes, someone knows, but he won't tell. And he won't forsake his vows for any reason. And so in order to do that, we have to go find this other piece of evidence. And like, that's all fine. I'm not opposed to that. It's just, this doesn't really match how descriptions in the literature of investigations or in the legal codices, how a lot of these end up playing out. Because a lot of how it plays out is so-and-so brings a suit against so-and-so, and it completely glosses over the investigative part to get straight to the trial.
Yeah.
Additionally, though, guilt and innocence is demonstrated primarily by witnesses. Right? We're working very, very heavily with witnesses. Also, isn't my house, like, somewhere in this area? Isn't the mill, like, right around here? Am I on the wrong side of town? Oh no, I'm just on the wrong side of me. I'm on the wrong side of this bridge. Gotcha.
Well,
I was like, I gotta be close. Now I think of the trial of Martin Guerre. Yeah. Or, you know, the in terms of trials against non-human figures, the time that 15th century France put a pig on trial for the murder of a child. That is a thing that happened. It is not a pleasant story, but the king... Right,
you're a sight for sore eyes.
So, how have you been?
I can't stop thinking about Skalitz.
I know.
Mm.
It was hell. But life has to go on.
But yeah, right, that pig,
clear your head and try to
a child wanders into the pigsty, gets mauled by pigs because pigs are horrifying. And the townsfolk put the pig on trial, and they declare it guilty of murder, and they hang it.
Hey, lad.
What if we took a stroll along the river?
Why not? That sounds lovely. Shall we go?
Let's go.
I'm a bit tired and a bit sleepy. But that's fine. Yeah, medieval animal trials are wild.
Huh.
Have you watched the... You watched the Advocate slicing out of the pig too, didn't you? No, actually.
I don't like the mill, but you get tired of it. So I'm glad you took me out.
I have not. I actually know the trial from other contexts.
I'd love to see the markets in Prague one day. Have you ever been to Prague?
No, I haven't. I have been in Kuttenberg, but Prague must be much bigger.
I've heard it's pretty smelly, though.
Yeah, so many people in one place. So many assholes.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'd love to listen to that young preacher, Jan Hus. They say he
Oh
preaches
good,
in
you're a
Prague
Husite
and
too.
Everyone's talking about it.
I bet he's just handsome. That's why the women dote on him.
You're a right one. preacher doesn't need good looks for people to listen to him.
And what about that fine fellow at St. James? I know full well why all the girls have started going to confession, and you have too, so don't give me any of that.
Uh-huh.
You scoundrel.
Who's cameo?
Well, all right. I admit I find
Yes.
him handsome.
I mean, we
That
are in the
doesn't make me a
period.
bad
It would be...
Christian.
I'd never dare to suggest such a thing.
Tell you what. Let's not dawdle. Last one is the slimy slug.
Okay. Where are we running to? I'm just gonna assume along the road. Oh wait, heck, you're good at running. What is this? I'm body blocking you. I don't know where we're running to, but we're running. Oh good, she's trying to outrun you and minimize the time that we spend together. True.
That was fun.
Very true.
Sit down here next to me, Hal.
Okay. Yoink. Good strategy, you used it as a kid? Yeah, fair.
And what about you?
But yeah, I did hear about the pig trial actually in an undergrad class about animals in the Middle Ages. And while the teacher is now extremely controversial, the class itself was quite good. Covered a lot of ground. We had an entire class in just legal classes.
Oh, this endless luxury, money, banquets, games, stuff.
Hello.
Games.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it.
Stuffed with a frog.
Amazing. Good luck with the rest of thesis writing. I empathize. It's extremely.
A goat stuffed.
But hopefully we'll see you in a couple weeks. Was that supposed to be a joke, chat? Chat, did they make a joke? Or were they just laughing off? Were they like doing a Final Fantasy X impersonation? Well, that was the most.
Oh, Henry, what am I going to do with you? Wandering the land, turning innocent girls' heads.
Wow, she out melees us.
Whose head is all messed up is me. How do you always manage to look so good?
Just look at the lady killer. Where did you learn to talk that way?
I don't recall which church service it was exactly.
You scoundrel. But you certainly know how
Do
to
we?
make a girl
Do we
feel
though?
special.
Do we though?
You may continue. But now I have to go.
Can I go with you?
Just a little way. I don't want anyone to gossip.
The frog stuff with the chicken was almost a joke.
Thank
Ask
you
her
for
out.
coming with me. Please come and see me again.
Ask her out again in a couple days. Oh boy. So, you know, courtship is not at all my thing. Right. Well, wait, hang on. Wait. The history of courtship is not at all my thing. No, I'll stick by the other one too. All statements are true here. But by and large, there is some room for a wooing phase. I don't think it would look this much like 20th century dating. But you know, the idea that it is not all organized marriages is good, right? That not everything is organized, not everything is arranged marriages. That's primarily an elite thing. The idea for other people that there would be, if the person is well enough off to at least afford the bride to provide a decent dowry and could guarantee a good living condition, that they'd be a suitable match, and that the women get a say in it, are two things that are very true. So some sort of process of wooing to earn favor both from her and her family is regionally dependent as to what that actually looks like, but, you know, reasonable. I would agree that's probably a dovecote. That seems the most reasonable to me. Because I don't know what other birds he'd be keeping. Indicate about Czech culture, but have things like mingling games and dances at festivals. That's mostly later. I mean, it does happen. We do start to have records in like the 14th and 15th century of like May Day festivals having big swaths of things. Oh, while I'm here I should sleep. Wolfie. Wolfie. Hold on a minute. But yeah. I need to take a nap first, and then eat. And then take another nap, maybe. Actually, should probably eat, and then snap, and then eat again, but that's fine. This is all fine. Om nom nom. We haven't slept in like 3 days, so... Okay. There we go. And this dude, thank you for the gifty sub to Agalias. Hooray. Whatever happens to your crush? Alright. The bathhouse is just down here, isn't it? I seem to remember there's a bathhouse nearby. There they are. Marker. Let's actually get, like, our things washed proper-like. Because we've got the power to do that. And we're not in a rush, apparently. And so we should be fine. Oh. Struggling. Okay. Hello. I wish to take a bath. And wash my clothes.
Greetings.
I'm interested.
So what are you?
Uh-huh.
Proper bath.
As you wish.
Huh? Wait.
I'm not giving you that.
And how much?
Okay. Okay, we're paying... I understand. We're only paying 10 of the 500.
Since it's you.
That's not enough.
Uh-huh. Fine.
You won't regret. Take care.
Great. I'm okay spending 9.5 on that. Because now we are washed, and things are okay, and this is fine. Baths. You know, the thing that people erroneously think medieval people never did. Right, that's one of the, apart from the gross things that are possible with the bathhouses, where they are also functionally brothels in this game, which I do not like. The more basic idea of that there are bathhouses outside of any vaguely large settlement that people would regularly take use of is very good. While in practice, right, full baths probably didn't happen for most people very often. Once again, I would note that the price of a bath is equivalent to several weeks worth of wages in this period. Remember, we did the math about pretzels, and baths are more expensive than pretzels. So, heck.
Greetings, neighbor.
Hello, who is here? Bailiff! Bailiff! Bailiff. Scribe? Scribe? Scribe, where are you? Ow. That was my face. Dungeon? Hello, dungeon. Goodbye, dungeon. Whee. What am I missing here? Talk to the Rate Scribe, and then look at the Book of Record. Okay. Oh. Suppose I should do job, oh.
Good health to you, sir.
I need to have a look in the Black Chronicle, Friedrich.
And I need blessed relief from my suffering. May the Lord have mercy.
Well, I don't know what I can do for you except bring you a priest.
I'm not dying yet. I just can't get up.
I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm on the trail of those killers from Neuhof, and I need to know the names of the men who were sentenced alongside Limpy Lubosch from Ujitz.
I can't remember. Once I write the record down, it goes straight out of my head.
It's essential that I find out those names. Is there anything I can do to help you get back to work?
I can't go to work when I can't stand on my feet. Konyash the apothecary has an embrocation that helps, but it costs dearly.
All right.
Good luck to you.
Good lord. All right. We go back down here. And we'll make our way out of the building. And when we're out of the building, we'll head over to the apothecary. That's not the apothecary. That's the scribe. Apothecary, apothecary. Where are you, apothecary? That's the swordsmith. I should see if I have things to sell.
My respects to you.
Let's talk trade. Really? Nothing to sell. Alright, alright. I could afford one of these, kind of, maybe. Not really, but I could pretend I could afford one. A Mondstadt. We have a lot of cash floating around, actually. As it turns out, we have kind of a lot of cash floating around. Anyway, where is our apothecary? That's the alchemy bench, which I believe is also our apothecary. So, over this way. Oh yeah, there you are. Literally next door. Good morning, AC. It is good to see you. We are currently engaged in...
Heavens, lad. You're looking bright-eyed and...
I'm feeling as good as new.
I'm glad to hear it.
Scribe Friedrich needs the embrocation for his joints.
What, again? He was here not long ago for some. He ought to make it last longer. I told him not to grease himself up so much. It could cause... Oh, the older he gets, the more foolish he is. Well, did he tell you such...
Uh-huh.
About that debt?
Uh-huh. 50.
Here you are.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you're a...
Now, which thing are we actually looking for? Like, which one does it actually want for us? An embrocation.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it.
We're gonna shoot for 45, which means we're gonna guess there.
Alright, so?
Oh! I got it for 44 and a half. Look at that! We're so good at games. This is a lot... I don't hate this quest design, in that it seems very based on, like, constant exchange of favors. But still.
Good day to you.
I bought you the embrocation, and you were right,
Honestly,
it certainly wasn't cheap.
That wasn't too bad.
I've been using it for years.
Will you let me have a look at the Black Chronicle?
Well, you helped me, so now I'll help you.
Right.
Come along and
I like that this is all very ad hoc.
Really
It's all
is
very regular quest design.
You know how it is. Faith itself is the greatest healer. Just thinking about the relief it will bring makes me feel better. So don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Come along. God be with you.
But yeah, it's neat. I know, right? Look at that beautiful scribe hand. I wish I could zoom in on it. Oh. Well, I mean, I want those, but...
Could you find something for me in that book? The thing is, I
don't know how to read, do you?
I'm trying to track down those Neuhoff cutthroats. And I need to find out the names of any cronies of Limpy Lubosh from Ujitz.
Give me a while. May the Lord watch over you.
Thank you, Black Book. Luckily, the Black Book is not super... super thick, so... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, I was told that this was a list of crimes. That said herbarum. Of the herbs.
So did you find any mention of Limpy in the book?
I did. Apart from Lubosh, there's mention of some Anton from Vlashim and Hinek, known as Riki, from Ledechko.
Ledechko? That's a stone's throw from here.
Aye. Certainly closer than Vlashim.
Thanks for your help.
Thank you for that ointment. God be with you.
No, asset reuse? Nonsense. It is all... 100%. 100%. Historical confusion. Tragic. Tragic. Okay, no. Let me out. Let me out. Okay.
Farewell.
No one saw anything. What do you mean I'm in a private area? I was just in here to do my job. Ow. Beautiful. We have a better outfit now. Which is great. Thank you, Pebbles. Alright, Pebbles. I suppose I should actually, like, focus on trying to get out of town here first, and then line up to go to Ladeshko. Something about it being a walled city makes it more difficult. Pebbles? We're making a U-turn. Look at that 3-point turn out of Pebbles.
Yeah. Perfect turn.
No notes.
Good people, come up close and have a smell.
We'll just make our way down here. Hit this guy. Force that guy to jump out the way. Blow past the guards. And onto the road. Let's go. Ugh, it's getting into evening already, which is sad. Heck. That's a river. Turns out we can't just jump over the river, so let's try that again, but with feeling. Good Pebbles. Completely nonplussed.
Sucker. It's hellishly deep here.
Slightly plussed. So much for being completely nonplussed. We are a little bit plussed. Sure, so you can climb over trees, but a couple of rocks is too much. Yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? Tragic. Tragic. Oh, don't be like this. Pebbles, you've climbed up more difficult things. There we go. Perfect form. Sorry, Teresa. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye. We have to get to Ladechko in order to do crime work? I guess technically crime work. I am curious exactly what book that is, because it seems like the Black Book of Rate is kind of the magic plot book. Because it seemed to be reading like an executive's book, but then also just listing who was related to whom, or who was like good friends with who, which is kind of magic information, right? That's the thing I would expect you to be able to piece together from a modern archive, but not so much from a medieval text, though it would depend a little bit as to what exactly is being done. Alright, I'm going to be very hungry, but that's fine. I'll just find a random pot. What, not the friendly reminder that Henry's girlfriend Bianca got murdered like maybe 2 weeks ago? Why you gotta be ruining her day like that? Like, come on.
Good morning.
I'm looking for someone they call Riki.
Jesus, who wouldn't know Hinek?
Hinek?
That's his real name. I doubt he likes his nickname much.
Parents,
No, that's
I'm sure we mourn them in their frigid way.
Try his
Bianca,
house.
not a
He had
word.
nerves for it. The old Tanner's a grouchy sod.
What can you tell me about this Hinek?
What can I tell you? No, he's none too popular. No one cares.
Henry
to talk
does
to
not
him.
deserve a new girlfriend. Certainly does not deserve Teresa.
I'm not one to gossip, but I heard he keeps bad company.
What's the Tanner like? Hinek's father.
The less I see of him, the better. He's not exactly sparkling company.
Why do they call him Riki anyway?
Why do you think?
He's a Tanner.
'Cause he's a Tanner, of course.
Yeah. Because he's a Tanner.
Why don't people like him?
He reeks.
The old Tanner's not an easy man, but a son should never let his father down. Hinek does nothing to help.
Okay,
He's
or
always
he's
far
just a
too
bad
busy with
kid.
his own affairs.
That's fine too. But I was just going to blame him on being a Tanner and therefore smelling of ammonia constantly.
There's no one at all talk to him.
That harlot Adela hangs around with him, of course.
Harlot?
She works as a bathhouse wench. Same thing.
Once again with the term wench.
Take care.
Once again, please don't. Up. Just please don't. Do we have a name for Henry's mom? Nope. She is, as far as I know, never named in this video game. You feeling okay? Y'all feeling okay?
Good health to you.
I mean, I like your hat. But,
So you know this Hinek?
Not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why's that?
Not even in the credits.
No
Wow.
one ever knows like spending too much time.
There it
with
is.
tanners.
See?
And
He's
that
just a
Riki
tanner.
keeps
He
bad
smells
company.
bad, because he's a tanner.
Never heard a good word said about him.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush.
Well, that would be accurate to medieval manor rules, I guess, when it tends to just be X's wife. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Why do they call
But
Riki anyway?
2018 game?
If you ever get
We don't
down
have
to
to replicate medieval manor rules.
tanning isn't a
We're not that close to historical accuracy.
True enough. But not every courier gets cursed with a name like that.
Well, Hinnick's nature's no sweeter than his smell.
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone. And then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillar in Rate for thieving. And in Neuhoff, he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies, and they beat up some merchants.
So a bit more than high spirits.
Just so. We're all honest folk here, and we've no use for the likes of him.
I do like his hat, by the way.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
Well, he's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches. Take care now.
Exactly. Right, that's a useful thing to recognize, because, yeah, I mean, we can always say, words, sorry. We can always say, oh yes, it's, reasonably accurate that we have this problem wherein no one is able to do a lot, right? Or where we don't know people's names, and that's just historically accurate. That's annoying. We don't like that, because, yeah, it's annoying. But that is okay. Sort of. No, it's not okay. Sorry. Let me get this thought in order, instead of trying to multitask and saying dumb things. Words. And hello, Mori. Good to see you. So. Right. You can argue, right, oh, it's just being historically accurate, we often don't have the names of medieval women, and therefore it is fine that we are doing what we are doing. This is untrue, because records of someone doesn't mean they don't exist, right? Records, right, just because we don't have records for someone doesn't mean they didn't have rich interior lives.
Good day to you.
Is something troubling you?
I wouldn't say it's troubling me exactly, my boy, but I've heard talk about the Sasso blacksmith and I'm losing sleep over.
What talk might that be?
They say they've heard him chanting when he tempers steel, and that nothing of his...
Oh, is he doing magic? Please.
Using spells to strengthen steel?
Please be doing magic.
Wise tales to me.
Please be doing.
They say he was always muttering something, and if anyone catches him at it, he stops at once and gives them dirty looks.
Maybe he's just praying.
Well, he's getting help of some sort.
Yes.
Whether it's prayers or something less holy.
Yeah, Mori, medieval Europe is just as bad as Japan in that regard. Right, a decent number of names, but a lot of, so-and-so's wife, or worse, someone's job's wife, right? So, I don't know, like Chaucer just has the wife of Bath. So she is an older, multiple times married woman who lives in Bath. And she's otherwise an extremely compelling character, but good luck figuring out what her name is. And then, right, otherwise our manor rolls might say, oh, well, it's the miller's wife, or it's, William's wife, or so-and-so, and it's a problem. Old Norse is kind of our exceptional place in this, in that we have a relatively good account of, women with names. Still a very small percentage of how many there were, but comparatively, doing relatively good. You think her name is Allison? Oh, you're right. Someone does say it, doesn't it? Is it the knight at the end of it who says it? You're right. At the end of her tale, someone actually names her. You're right. I think that is ringing a bell, but her name might be Allison.
And, how could I help with that?
Simple enough. Go there and find out if there's any grain of truth in it.
I suppose asking costs nothing.
Just don't ask him outright about any sorcery.
Don't worry, I'm not that daft.
Good. And don't worry. You won't be the poorer for it.
Alright.
Good. I'll be subtle about it.
Amazing. You recall poll tax records use the names of women in England? That's potentially true. I'm not familiar. You know more about poll tax records than I do, AC. I've not had a chance to ever work with them, so I will take your word for it. Because, yeah, I haven't had a chance to ever work with them. Hey look, there's the bathhouse. The white tents. Don't think the prioress is named, for instance. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, are you able to sell me arrows?
I noticed the target.
I noticed you asking questions.
No, I'm Henry.
Am I the Inquisition?
I'm Vata, from here. Why are you so curious?
It's just that I sometimes try my hand at archery too.
Try your hand, do you? I know plenty who do. When you can score as high as me...
I've got no idea what you...
Never played chumps? And you call yourself an archer? Alright, Henry, listen up. Chumps is a game for real archers. It tests your strength, stamina, and accuracy. And it can be a nice little earner. Unless you're, well, a chump.
So what exactly is it?
I'll tell you. A bunch of logs are floated down the river. Then you count 20, and the archers run along the banks after the logs. At the end of the course, someone collects all the logs and counts the strikes. Whoever has the most, always meaning me, wins the bout. Each archer has 20 arrows with their own colored fletching, and the contest ends when the last log floats through the finish line.
Sounds like good fun.
Fun? My friend, it will bring you out in a proper sweat, and you'll be well pleased to hit just 1 or 2 blocks. So how about it then? Fancy a bout? You'll need your own bow, but I'll supply the arrows with colored fletching.
Let's do it.
Come on then. Ah, one more chop. Now you have to bet at least 10 groschen, 50 at most. There'll be 3 archers competing at the time, so how much will you bet?
I won't overdo it.
That's the betting over with. Good luck to you. And now, I'll see you at the finish.
Alright, that was short. That was long. Got it. That was just long. Dang it. There we go, I got a hit.
Bloody hell, the wind took it.
That was way too long. Oh, that was actually not as long as I thought. Wait, that was a hit. That was a miss. Oh! It counted that as a hit too. Ah! Don't stand in front of him! Don't stand in front of him. That was short. That was long. I might as well wait for them to get closer. We'll see if any of those help. That was a bit long, wasn't it? That was so close. Really? That wasn't a hit? I disagree. That's fine. That was short. I knew that was going to be short. I was pointed to directly at it. Really? No, I don't agree with that. Gar, I might end up losing this at the end despite a very strong beginning. Really? They're all going directly overhead. There we go. That was short. Okay.
The wind took it. Got it.
See if I can land one more here. Nope, that's too high. Well,
Almost.
we'll see if they just suck. They're getting like a 50% hit rate though. That's pretty impressive for them. That's pretty impressive for them. We'll see if they actually try and catch any more.
Time's up, folks. One last arrow and that's it.
Dang it. Dang it. Tragic.
So, how did...
You came last, lad. But chin up.
I'd like to try...
Of course.
I believe in us.
One more. So how much?
I believe in us.
That's the... God be with you.
What idiot set up camp in a sandbar? Yeah.
Bloody hell, the wind took it.
Ah, well, I won't miss the next one.
Wow, I got that as a hit too? I'm staggered. I do love this game. This game is feeling very medieval. Wow, they are just very far away. Really? How is that not a hit? That was a hit. That was a hit. That was way short. This is good practice. I'll be honest, this is great practice.
Almost
Boo. Really? No, I that looked like it hit me, but that's fine.
Another on target.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Ah, well, I won't miss the next one.
Bloody hell, the wind took it.
Almost had it.
That was a hit. Great. That was a hit. Excellent. And that was a miss. Well, we put in a good show. We put in a good show.
Almost had it.
Bloody hell, the wind took it.
Feels medieval as a gamer, as a historian. Yes, yes. Hey, bud. Hey, bud, call the game already. I'll bribe you. Half my earnings. Just call the... Pretend that you just passed the finish line. Right? Just... Pretend. Pretend, but quick. Before I lose. Before I lose it.
Time's up, folks. One last arrow and that's it.
Dang it!
Bloody hell, the wind took it.
Can I explain what the hell I'm doing right now? I'm just betting it's a minigame. Right, I'm playing a minigame.
So, how did it...
Second out of 3. Not a... Good luck to you.
It's also, much more importantly, that I am leveling bow. And leveling bow is helpful, primarily because it lets me, hopefully become more accurate. And therefore, have more consistent shooting to be more things. Is there a cultural reason for this thing? Probably not. A lot of the games that they're doing are not medieval games, right? Their Resident Expected Dice game is actually not a medieval dice game. It's first attested in the 19th century. As far as this goes, I expect it might be the same thing. But the idea roughly of training with archery and practicing at sport games with it, I think is still very much plausible for this region. I'm much more familiar with English rules in that regard, but English rules in this period still did say that everyone should be trained in archery. So that way if they ever went to war with France, they could call up a bunch of archers. They went to war with France a lot. I don't know about Central Europe, though. I don't believe there's this rule to have archers trained up, so it's much more of an as-you-are-interested thing. But yeah, still, this being some sort of... we may as well gamble, and then also just engage... gamble away and have trick shots as a form of sport. Because it's basically just trick shooting. But yeah, I don't know if there's a specific Central European Bohemian cultural thing going on that would encourage that, but it is fun. It is fun.
I heard you've been seeing Hinek, the tanner's son.
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner, that I seduce decent men?
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about him.
Aye, I've seen him often enough. I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Where can I find Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy to me.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, looters, cumans, and God knows what other vermin around, it's not the sort of thing an honest man would do.
But Hinek doesn't have anything to do with those people.
Exactly.
Oh, really? Then what does he do there? I don't imagine he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinek
Okay,
is a
okay.
and sometimes he goes off into the
Humans.
woods. So what?
When did you last see him?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Well then.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. That he was regretting he ever got into it.
Yeah.
But he never said what it was.
So,
It
chat,
wasn't worth it for
does
the
he
money.
survive this?
Aye. And then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Oh, just poppycock.
Did you go there for a look?
Yeah.
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously, he made it up.
70-30 odds he's not
Why
going to
would a
make it.
layabout like him get so much coin?
Yes, I understand. Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his father's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thank you.
Wow, you're just gonna...
Take care.
You're just gonna let me go steal it all. Sorry, hang on. Not stealing. Confiscating for official purposes. Chat, does that sound plausible? Does stealing for official investigative purposes sound plausible? Will we not get in trouble for that? If we were to say go scrabbling about. Civil asset forfeiture. See ya. The western corner. So somewhere over here. Guess what I don't have? Chat, guess what I absolutely none percent have? Hello.
God be with you.
I'm looking for your son. Any idea where he might be?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you at least know where he usually goes? It's important.
Hinek shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to.
Uh-huh.
Even if I did...
A local lord might have a right to a trove found in his territory, and you are kind of his agent? Yeah. Yeah.
Do you at least know any friends he's with, or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
I heard he's seeing some bathhouse wench.
Maybe. He can't get it for free.
Uh-huh.
Listen, your son's in serious trouble. I'm trying to help him, and my patience is wearing extremely thin. If you start answering my questions, this is going to go a lot better for everyone.
Are you threatening me?
Believe what you like. I'm concerned about Hinek, but I really don't much care what happens to you. Is that clear?
Fuck it. I'm not gonna take a beating on account of that good-for-nothing.
So?
There's not much I can do for you anyway. Hinek came here, but he left
Well,
right away.
we are the good guys.
Where did he go? You better give me something. You really don't want to waste my time.
Hinek makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few
Yeah,
times
that's
about
fair.
a great hideout.
It's dumb of him, but that's reasonable. Side gigs of poaching happen
Well, it's not much
all
to go
the
on,
time.
But it's better than nothing. Thank you.
I mean, heck, poaching is...
Don't you have any clue at all?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there is all.
How's that?
Because every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away.
I suppose. He never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
Pale hydrate? Not the last time I water.
But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him coin. Of course, it could have been for me.
All right.
There we go.
I'll ask at the inn then. What more do you know?
Nothing. I swear to...
I know he didn't talk to you about it, but you must have noticed something, right?
With any foresters, the
How much time
poaching
did he
wasn't an
spend
issue.
away? What was he wearing?
Exactly, a poaching
How did he look when
sidekick
he came
is
back? Anything?
basically
Well,
respectable.
he came and went at all sorts of hours. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and with leaves and muck on him.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know?
Alright, alright.
Go. And if he's really in as much shit as you say, please try and find him.
Yeah, he is. I do not have a spade though, so we won't steal his cash yet. See, the question is, where can we pick up a spade? Someone in town here has to sell one, right? Right. That'd be a respectable thing for a blacksmith to make. Right. Right, Mr. Blacksmith? Are you the blacksmith? Where's the blacksmith? I want to say it was... Well, obviously it's not you, Mr. Bailiff. Did I overshoot it? I must have overshot it. It's way up here. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Yeah, foresters and nobility don't like it, but it wouldn't make money if nobody was buying. Yep. I mean, it is practically tradition that everyone's involved. Like, that's normal.
I'll be with you.
Yeah, there are strict rules about it, but,
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
Ask someone else. They've
Meh.
nothing to do with Riki. It only drives my customers away.
Really?
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is.
I don't give a damn what deals you've been doing together. I won't tell anyone. I just need to know where Riki is. It's urgent.
What have our deals got to do with where he disappeared to?
More than you think. It's likely Riki is hiding out at his poaching lair. And believe me, it wasn't hard to find out who was buying game from him, and it's even easier to go to the castle and tell them. Poaching's a crime, after all.
I don't like being threatened.
okay.
About the goods Riki owes you.
What about it?
Well, supposing I settle the account for him and you stop dodging my questions and tell me what I want to know.
I suppose
Fine.
that would be all right.
We're not
How
good
much
at
is it?
speechifying.
Before he vanished, I paid him.
can settle things right away.
Let's see it then.
Oh.
Have you got it on?
Gotcha. 5 hairs. We doing this again? What is the option that makes the most sense here? What is the option that actually makes the most sense in order to get these? Because as it turns out, I do not have any substantive interest in going hunting. So maybe it's just we go in here. Is there a butcher in here? I don't know that there's a butcher in here. There's a grocer. There's another grocer. Yeah, I don't know that there's actually a butcher there. The other option would be... up... Ujits had a butcher, didn't it? Morrigan, your Japanese background applies very nicely to a European background. The lowest nobility use hunting both as means of socializing and pretty much doing martial training. The exact same thing is true, though instead of it just being lower elite, I think it's just more everyone. Right, hunting is extremely, extremely popular. Across from loyal to petty nobility, so it would definitely apply at all of the above. Could I just buy 5 hairs? Could I just buy hairs? Yeah? I understand your... You only have 2. Oh. Why? Why do you have to be like this? You make this almost impossible.
Let's have a word about the price. Is this enough? Well now. Why? I feel quite hungry.
And I'm overloaded. Heck. We should be able to send things to saddlebags, right? Send to saddlebags. Send to saddlebags. Both of them. What else can we send to saddlebags? I am wearing that. I am not wearing that. I am not wearing that right now. So... Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I guess we'll wrap up the stream by going hunting again. I mean, I know this is the main quest, and so it's probably more convoluted than the alternative, but like still. Can't say I'm a huge fan of immediately being like, yes, let us go hunting again. Again. Into the woods. I'm sure this is not at all poaching. We're going to source them honorably. And where the kings... We are a representative of Sir Hanush. We can use his lands for whatever we feel like. Right? Right. That's how that works. Please tell me that's how that works. I've got 20. Ordinary arrows. Perfect. Chat, do you think I'm still going to be abysmal at hunting? I think I'm still going to be abysmal at hunting. Hello. How are things in the fiefdom? Things are going okay. We have made bad decisions, but we have also made good decisions, and we have talked about history. We are currently engaging in a wee bit of poaching, because I'm sure that is a good decision that will have no negative consequences for anybody involved. But you know, we are a nobody from a rural community. Engaging in poaching is practically mandatory. And we are an okay archer. For certain definitions of okay. Okay, but seriously, where are these bunnies? Benoy. Benoy? Any Benoys? Any Benoys whatsoever? No? No? If it's because it's raining again, I'll be furious. God, I think it rains as much as Breath of the Wild does in this game. It's just, it broadly matters less because we don't do anything with it. Call upon your bunny finding powers from the Scabma stream. Honestly. We need them. Yeah, my friends over at the Save Ancient Studies Alliance were just streaming that over the last couple weeks. And it's very nice to see people involved also playing that game again. Because it is good. Sadly, it sounds like... Oh, Benoy. Benoy? Heck. Really? That was a... It lags behind so far. Holy moly. What? How did that go over its head? Chat, I think this bunny is immortal. Scratch that, the bunny is not immortal. The tracer lines are just very bad. Oh boy. Well. I used a lot of those. I used a lot of those really quick. So that's something. That's something. You feel like punching the rabbits is still my best bet. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Isn't clubbing them confronting? I have no idea. Good lord. I have absolutely no clue what the most common way is. I suspect shooting them is not the most common way, because holy moly, what a waste of arrows. But whether hitting them with a sling, sneaking up on them and clubbing them, or something else, I couldn't tell ya. Yeah, I mean, setting out snares makes a lot of sense to me. Right. That you snare them and then you club them? I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. That seems like the most obvious way to do it. Rather than just going forth and saying, ah yes, let us, with the manly sports of bows. So we make a giant wooden rabbit and away from them carry inside the castle and we spring it out of them. Of course. But might I propose instead a giant wooden badger. It's just a... oh, hello. Really? Really? Great, my arrow snapped. How was that not a hit? Okay, that one I expected to not be a hit. It's pulling so far to the left. I was like, I'm just not even in the right ballpark. Excuse me. Monsieur Benoit. Just... I'm aiming with the arrowhead, you know, the way you're actually supposed to frickin' do it. What do you mean it aligns with Henry's left wrist? What an obscenely goofy spot to aim the bow with. Like, you follow the arrow in order to do it. That's how this works. Great. And now we are waiting for another bunny to spawn in the next 5 years. Alright, Henry's left wrist. I'm still behind it. That was a mean shot. Holy moly. Okay. There's 40 of the 60. Can I get one more? Chat, do you think I can get one more with the 5 arrows I have left? I'm taking 6 or 7 arrows to hit something normally. So, it's not boding well for me, but we can hope. Also, just one rabbit. I just need one rabbit to spawn. I don't care if it spawns directly in front of me. Just please. Please spawn. I could just sleep there. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I am East Coast US. Maury. I live in Boston. And so while I've been traveling some recently, that is my usual. Hello, bunny. Oh, historically? I mean, historically I also am starting to do a bit of colonial. But right now, we are in Bohemia. In 1403. About 30 kilometers outside of Prague. So there's that. In my actual, like, job that does things, medieval Norse. I'm out of arrows? Heck. What? What? How are those misses? Yes. Exactly. Well, mostly Iceland. Mostly Icelandic literature. So... Buddy, get over here. Dang it. Come on, get stuck. That's not getting stuck. I am a persistent predator, you must get tired eventually. That's not true. I know a little... Whoa. Struggle. I know a little bit about Bohemia, in that I have been to Prague several times and looked at archives from that period. But most of what I know about Bohemia is having done research for the sake of this game. This is not this is not my super specialty. It's just something that I do. I have attempted my best to get at. The bunny, a sprinter, probably has better stamina than Henry. Well, yes. In the short to medium term, almost certainly. I mean, who cares about that short to medium term? The long term is where we're at. And it was long enough term that they just kind of gave up. Okay. Now, it is soaking wet here. And I have some things for you.
Good day to you.
I'm endlessly a narrow-minded specialist until your book exists, unfortunately. Yeah.
Game for you.
Yeah, that sounds right. This is why I am not in a PhD program. 'Cause, no thank you.
Have you got it or not?
What?
I've got that game for you.
Splendid.
Yes, deliver. Deliver. Then press a different button to confirm delivery?
Pretty good.
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. You know where it is?
Not exactly.
Ha! You're not either because programs don't exist
know
there?
where it is at all.
That's fine.
But I happen to know it's a dark place. A cave or an old mine shaft.
Uh-huh.
You know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil.
You just want to write this book before you die. Well, that's fair.
Fight for that.
That's completely reasonable.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry hears something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch it on.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's gotta be the cave in the hills, right? Given that he has to go through woods to get there, it's gotta be that. But there is one other thing that needs to happen, and that is us going to the shop and making this person run out of money. Pebbles. I wish to see your saddlebags.
God be with you.
Armor. We're going to sell that and sell that. So both of those. We'll maybe keep that one in case if our thing breaks. Sell that, I guess. There's that. Padded, padded. Patch toes, plate, plate. That's basically broken. Get rid of that. Skull cap's not important. We're wearing those, so we don't need to worry about that. Working boots. Both of those. Yellow gray tunic. Boom. Then, what else can we sell? Both rings. Heck, wait. What did I just do? Ah, we sold that. Alright, well, haggle.
Let's talk about the price.
Uh-huh.
Sure, why not?
150. Let me suggest I'm going to get that.
Agree?
That sounds pretty interesting. A little less and I'll be satisfied.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'll go for that.
Perfect. We have just sold our stuff, making it a heck of a lot richer. So, let's wrap up for the day, right? Because we've been going for 3 hours. That means it's about time to wrap up. Move on to our own thing. So, what have we learned today? We have learned that we are, in fact, doing blasphemy. Right, that the game actively encourages us to not only be a blasphemous by being a Hussite, but be blasphemous by breaking canon law by impersonating a priest. This is fine as long as it doesn't go badly. We have also learned that there is often so little about the details and nitty-gritty moment-to-moments of medieval investigation that even though the premise that we were basically assigned on behalf of the quote-unquote victim of the murders at Neuhof, namely Lord Hanish, to do the investigation, notably, the dead people are not the victims, Lord Hanish is the victim.
To eat something. My insides are shriveled up with the hunger.
Thank you. So yeah, we have learned that even though that premise is possible, there's enough holes in our understanding of how the moment-to-moment of investigation works, without doing a lot of research and piecing together stuff from all over the European continent, that really we just end up having these long convoluted questions of doing favors. I like the fact that we're doing favors, I like the fact that it's not just paying people, and we're not engaging in torture, but you know, it still is a notable change. We have also learned that the game continues to have a problem with the word wench, namely that it uses the word wench. And finally, we have learned that poaching is in fact a thing, and is still ubiquitous. So, I think that is where we leave off. We'll pick up probably on Tuesday again to see where this continues, see if we can't finally get that damned sword back. So, big thanks to all of our patrons listed here, who make this possible. We will continue to talk about this game, and all the history in and around it, in future weeks, but we also do stream other stuff, so do make sure you're followed if you want to be notified when that other stuff happens. Big thanks as well to everyone who followed, hopped into chat, and subscribed during this, and yeah, we'll be back on, I think I said Sunday. I think Sunday is when I said we were back next, so I will see you all then. Alright? Have a good night, everyone.